Rich, you intervene.
Oh my God.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. One more round of applause for all the comedians before me. "5 years and 5 months ago, the caricature, the guy above me, he said his last goodbye. But he built the stage, and I'm actually wearing his shoes, holding his microphone, hanging out with his friends. And for about 3 weeks, I thought about what I could say that was funny. And the best thing that came to my mind was just to express the amount of gratitude I have for sharing a name with the man. Some people, this is going to get uncomfortable, so, slow down a little bit. Some people leave behind a business, a ton of money. He left me the name Little Ray. When I was a senior in high school, I go to Rodney Dangerfield's in New York City. There's a line of 300 people outside. Everyone's waiting to get in. And a comedian by the name of Carrie Carava spots me and says, "Aren't you Little Ray?" I said, "Yeah." I had a friend with cerebral palsy who had a motorized cart. I said, "I can't leave, my friend's here." She goes, No, we'll bring him in. Brings me in, I sit at the bar, I'm 17 years old. I had one of my first beers with Rodney Dangerfield. And I remember I got up to the bar and Rodney looked at me and he said, "Hey, you want a beer?" I said, "I'm 17. He was like, "I didn't ask you for one LSD, but..." There's a couple of stories that I have that are almost just too surreal to be true. Growing up, if anyone here has a dad, a success, growing up in the shadows, tough. When you're a young man, you're full of piss and vinegar. All you want to do is break free of it. And tonight, I'm just proud to stand under his. By a round of hands, anyone lose someone for cancer? Anyone affected by it? Give everyone a round of applause because we don't put our heads down here. The one thing I do know is what these men and women do before me. I'm a nurse by trade. When my dad got sick, I kind of found, maybe that could be a calling for me. And I try to prevent death. But the question comes, how can we improve life? And laughter is a currency that is just so undervalued. These guys, Billy Joel said it best, they sit at my bar, put bread in my jar, to forget about life for a while. And when everybody walks in that door, there's no hashtags, there's no labels, there's no religion, there's no gender, there's no sexuality, there's nothing that's offensive. I can't really see anybody because of the lights, but I'm assuming there's some Black and Spanish and Asian people in the room. And we all left together. And the second people leave is we just go back and we hold on to those old ideals. The one thing that growing up in the back room of Pips, it's the comedy club in Brooklyn, it gave me is, my idea of what's appropriate is different. I just know that I love to laugh, I love to smile. I love to make my family and friends smile. And the guys up here, heavyset, overweight, Mitzi Shore calls them the Island of Misfit Toys on the West Coast out of the Comedy Store. And at Pip's Comedy Club, if people were sold in retail, it'd be TJ Maxx or Marshalls. Some people might look at them as rejects. There is nobody I would have rather have spent the last 32 years getting to know. 5 years, 5 months after my father dies, this is my chance to articulate to people who I don't know, who is a man. How do you define a man in 8 minutes or less? It's not what he teaches us. It's not what he gave us. It's the way we treat other people because of them. And I'm going to share a story. Darcy and Richie, who are so kind. Excuse me. We're on the way to the Westbury Music Festival from Seabright, New Jersey. That's 117 for people from, you don't know towns in New Jersey. And we're going to Westbury, Long Island. My dad's fighting the beast that is cancer. He's got chemo ravaging through his veins. Pulls over 3 times to vomit. And the second we get to the show, he's vomiting. He pulls over 3 times. He vomits. I said, "Dad, you okay?" He said, "Leave me alone." The second he walks on stage, he was ready to go and he killed it for 15 minutes. All he wanted to do was help somebody else forget about their problems. Everybody back there probably thinks that Ray was their best friend. And nobody's lying. Somehow Ray would find, an hour to talk to 27 people per day. Darcy, Richie, Two guys that are here that I have to mention, two guys that are not here that I have to mention are Dennis Hamill and Vic DiMatteo. You know, Ray would just sit on his chair and see bright. Anyone knows Vic? Give him a round of applause. You know, so it's kind of funny how love and hatred are so similarly aligned. You know, laughter and crying are two. They're two extremes of emotion. And anyone ever hear of Theodore Geisel, famous author? Dr. Seuss? He, in a beautiful perspective, he said, don't cry because it's over, but smile because it happened. And I know that if Pop was around today, he would love that Richie's carry on his legacy. I'd like to hope that, you know, he'd be proud of the man that I'd become. And there are 3 people in the world that get to call Ray brother. There are 2 that get to call him father. One of whom is right there. Her name's Arena. And I just want to thank everybody for donating to such a noble cause tonight. As a nurse, you know, we fight a fight that's impossible to win. You know, everyone, eventually we're going to make our way out. Billy Joel says life is a series of hellos and goodbyes, and eventually the ladder's going to take over. I know for me, in my 32 years, I've said many hellos and many goodbyes. I just hope that I can inject a few smiles along the way. So if I could bring back out Richie and Joe real quick.
Yay!
I want to thank Mr. Paul Merrick, Mr. Joe Lupo, Ben in the back, Sloan Kettering Memorial Hospital, and everybody for coming out tonight. So, God bless.
Let's bring back all the comedians and Vince Doratola, Rossi Novick, Hal Montgomery, Paul Bond, Bush Bradley, Murph, John Garvey, Gemini, Jeff Perani, Micah Ronan. Take your time, Mike, take your time. You guys have been absolutely great. God bless you all. Thank you for coming out. It's a fight that can be won. Joey.
I'm so glad we had this time just to have a laugh and sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. To Ray Garvey, everybody. For the great Ray Garvey. Let's hear it nice and loud. Ray Garvey, right there. The greatest. Meet us at the bar.